This is the kind of truth that demands thunder, not whispers. This is a power talk that is fierce, unflinching, and carved from the bones of justice. It is a call to conscience, a scream against silence, and a vow to the unseen. It is called We Can Do Better. We can do better. Better than basements that echo with muffled cries while neighbors mow lawns above and say nothing. We can do better than sweatshops hiding in plain sight behind tinted windows and help wanted signs where hands bleed for fashion and backs break for profit. We can do better than letting children disappear into vans, into shadows, into systems that forget their names, but remember their labor. This is not just a crime, it is a weakness in the system, a fracture in our collective spine where apathy seeps in and justice leaks out. 49 million souls in modern slavery worldwide. 12 million of them are children. That's not a statistic. That is a scream. They work 20 hours a day for a stranger's wealth while paying with their sweat, their blood, their tears. And we scroll past, we sip lattes, we say, that's awful. Then change the channel. But silence is complicity, and comfort is a cage when it keeps us from seeing the chains next door. We can do better than letting traffickers walk free because they wear suits or own factories or hide behind legitimate businesses. We can do better than letting survivors beg for help while their captors drive luxury cars and sleep soundly. We can do better than letting the system punish the trafficked and protect the traffickers. We can do better than letting the law be a suggestion instead of a sword. We can do better than letting sweatshops exist in public eye, but also in public silence. We can do better than letting the internet become a hunting ground for predators while we pretend it's just the algorithm. We can do better than letting children be sold like products while we debate policy. We can do better than letting survivors be shamed for surviving. We can do better than letting the word rescue be a fantasy instead of a plan. We can do better than letting the trafficked be invisible until they are dead. We can do better than letting the system be a maze with no exit signs. We can do better than letting the traffickers be ghosts until it is too late. We can do better than letting the headlines fade while the horror continues, and we can do better than letting the hotline ring and ring and ring. We can do better than letting the survivors be statistics instead of their stories. We can do better than letting the trafficked be punished for being trafficked. We can do better than letting the system be a shield for the guilty. We can do better than letting the world forget. We can do better than letting the next victim be someone that we could have saved. We can do better than letting this poem be the only protest. So speak up, speak out, hold them accountable, find the hidden and shatter the silence, because we can do better, and we must and we will.